Hello everybody, welcome to Just Upright. My name is Doc Jane Ruder. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and I'm your foreign educated physical therapist guide to US application. I hope you guys are doing great. So, someone was asking me when is the next master class. I'm planning to do a master class in January 2024. And usually the master class that is high demand is the step-by-step process to US application. So I call this the USPT Turbocharge. So watch out for announcements for that, for the specific date. It's gonna be a live Zoom conference or master class, I call it. Okay, so watch out for announcement for the specific date and time for that. Okay, if you have suggestion about specific class that you want me to do, helping you foreign educated physical therapists to apply here to the United States, let me know. Put the comment down below. Okay. So what I'm going to touch on today's video is just, I made a video about this before, but this is just an update about the shortage of physical therapists here in the US, okay? So I've been saying this, since I've been making the video about physical therapists here in the US. There is indeed a shortage of physical therapists. So usually when I do my master classes, I have the myth busters. And this is to crush the wrong information that a lot of foreign educated physical therapists tend to believe from other people that they hear, but it's not a reliable source, okay? So we're going to dig deeper right now. How much is the shortage? And what is it's a bad news for the US because of the shortage of the physical therapists is being a burden in the healthcare industry. But this is also a good news for foreign educated physical therapists, a wake-up call for you to process your application to the US because you are needed here. So this and more coming right up. Okay, so the shortage of physical therapists update December 2023, okay? So it came to, a big news outlet here in the US already. The ABC News, they have this article about their headline or their title about this is back pain, bum knee, be prepared to wait for a physical therapist, okay? The current number of therapists falls short of increasing demand. So this was published November 18, 2023, okay? So let's see. So they touch on different points. They say that according to American Physical Therapy Association, the job vacancy rate for therapists in the outpatient setting last year was 17%, okay? So really there is a great need. I talked to employers. I talked to one employer in Texas. Never before in his more than a decade of business, he put out like the ads, that he is hiring physical therapists, but no one is applying. Okay, I met the owner of Spine and Sports Physical Therapy, Idaho Spine and Sports Physical Therapy, and they are in indeed need of physical therapists, but there's a problem with the application of foreign educated physical therapists in Idaho because of a certain requirement, okay? But they want to outsource physical therapists because they cannot find anybody in Idaho applying for the position, okay? But that's another topic. I will make a video about it. But anyway, as this news or article is saying, okay, patients are across the nation waiting weeks or even months for appointment for physical therapists. Like they cited that in California, the ratio between therapists to residents is 57 per 100,000 compared to a national ratio of 72 per 100,000. So this is a figure according to American Physical Therapy Association. So they also cited why is there a great lack or shortage of physical therapists in the US right now. So they cited many reasons behind this. One of which is that studying as a physical therapist here in the US is extremely expensive. Okay, if you take your doctor of physical therapy, because the entry level right now here is doctor of physical therapy. There's no bachelor anymore, there's no master's. It's when you go to college, you will have to have a doctor of physical therapy degree. Okay, so according to American Physical Therapy Association report from 2020, at least 80% of recent physical therapy graduates carried educational debt averaging roughly of $142,000. So that is a lot of debt to pay, okay? And they say that the amount of compensation of physical therapists here, graduating physical therapists here, doesn't match the amount of debt that they need to pay, okay? But for foreign educated physical therapists, our education is cheaper compared to the US schools here, okay? So, but of course, we have to go through extensive and complicated, overwhelming process to get here and practice as a physical therapist, okay? So also they cited that there are many physical therapists who actually fled the practice, okay, during the pandemic, okay? In 2021 alone, more than 22,000, can you imagine that? 22,000 physical therapists, about a tenth of the workforce, left their jobs, according to a report by a health data analytics firm of Definitive Healthcare. So with that pandemic, because the amount of stress of being exposed to the virus, and then top it up with ever-changing regulation of you have to do this, you have to do that, of gowning, gloving, mask, and goggles and whatnot. And it's always changing. It's very restrictive, and again, the potential hazard for health. There were so many, not just physical therapists, but other therapists, nurses in the healthcare industry quit their job, because of the stress from the pandemic. Okay, the pandemic itself and the regulations that each and everyone has to follow, that changes every week or every day during the height of the pandemic. Okay, so 22,000, that is according to their data, left the practice. Okay, another reason behind the shortage is there are growing number of baby boomers. Okay, that the patients who are older adults needing physical therapy. The pandemic delayed procedures like hip and knee replacements, needing physical therapy before and after. So some of them just do after the surgery. Okay, and also another very important thing that affects the older adults, whether it's in skilled nursing facility or in short-term rehabilitation facility. The Medicare cuts, and they're actually threatening to cut another for January 2024. So this Medicare cuts, for 4 years now, they've been cutting the compensation for Medicare beneficiaries receiving physical therapy services. Okay, so those are some of the reasons why there is a growing number of need of physical therapists here in the US. So just to recap, there is, the burden, this is like many students are hesitant to take physical therapy degree because the burden of paying the debt, it's very expensive. And going out of college, and then you have 142,000 roughly of debt to pay after college. And then, many resigned due to the pandemic and its regulation, 22,000 back in 2021. The growing number of older adults needing physical therapy and, delayed in the procedure like hip and knee replacement, needing physical therapy, especially after the procedure, and the Medicare cuts. So these are just some of the reasons why there are growing demands for physical therapists here in the US, okay? So according to the CEO of the APTA, there's a shortage of physical therapists in all settings, including hospitals, clinics, nursing homes, and it's likely to continue for foreseeable future. Okay, not only do we have to catch up with those shortages, but there are great indicators of increasing demand for physical therapy. Okay, so that's what he said. That's from APTA. Okay, so if you're a foreign educated physical therapist and you're really thinking, oh, will I get with a job to the US? Yes, you will, but you just have to process your application, okay? So I made a video previously about, people are emailing me, asking me to help them with their application. And I said in that video, and I will say it again, it is very hard for me to help you through email. Okay, because the process is very, very complicated and overwhelming. Okay, and that's the reason why I made the master class. Okay, because it's not practical for me to sit with each person 3 to 4 hours just to explain the process thoroughly, clearly, so that you would truly understand, okay, from the basic until to the complicated matter, how it is to apply to the US, okay? So if you want to check out the masterclass, it's available 24/7 wherever you are in the world, as long as you have internet services, as long as you can access the internet, you can enroll to that masterclass. I will put the link down below, okay? So I'm going to cite also the Bureau of Labor Statistics here in the US for you to see what is the current update about the job situation for physical therapists, okay? So that's an official government website, very reliable information. Okay, so this is the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, okay? So as you can see, they have a summary here, 2022 median. This is a median pay, okay? So this is average pay for 50 states. So each state has their own rate or average per state. So, okay, this is just a generalization. 97,720 per year, 46.98 per hour. Okay, so entry level right now here to the US is a doctor of physical therapy. If you are a foreign educated physical therapist and you're just going to apply, the minimum requirement is a master's degree or equivalent, okay? So here, as you can see, the job outlook, employment of physical therapists is projected to grow 15%. So it used to be like 19%. It's actually down now to 15% from 2022 to 2032, much faster than average for all occupations. So as you can see here, average is 13,900 job openings for physical therapists are projected each year on average over the decade, okay? So many of those openings are expected to result from need to replace workers who transfer to different occupations or exit the labor force, such as retire or own their own company, okay? Or just shift into a different career because they got burnt out as a therapist, okay? All right, there you have it, guys. So I hope for foreign educated physical therapists who are not yet here in the US or you're not yet practicing here in the US, I hope this is a good news for you, an inspiration for you to get started and start your application. Okay, if you need help with that, again, I have a masterclass. The link will be down below. I have a lot of testimonies from students who actually attended the masterclass. Some of them had trial and error for 4 years or more, attended the masterclass, and really benefited and had a clear understanding on how to proceed with their US application. It's very expensive to do a trial and error. It's very expensive to commit mistakes. So if you are thinking you're gonna do it on your own, do a trial and error, you have to think again, because you will spend a lot of money or waste a lot of time if you commit these mistakes that a lot of foreign educated physical therapists are doing or have done before. With the masterclass, I will tell you what to do and what not to do to prevent these mistakes from happening, and for you to have a faster process in application, because you will have the roadmap, the clear understanding on how it is to proceed from one step to another. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you may, please subscribe to this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, it will really help boost the channel and for me to reach more foreign educated physical therapists around the world. Feel free to share this video on your social media platform, whatever it may be, or through email. Send it to your friends who are thinking of applying to the US as a physical therapist. Okay, if you have any comment, clarification, suggestion, please put your comment down below. Any video ideas, anything that you need to help out with your application to the US as a physical therapist. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, stay blessed.